Very good morning to all. I am Dr. R. Udayakumar, Professor and Dean, Department of Computer Science Engineering and Information Technology of Kalinga University, Naya Raipur, India. Again, we are going to discuss about the peripheral devices and it is available in the computer organization and architecture. How the peripheral devices are organized in the computers. What is peripheral devices? Peripheral devices is nothing but input or output devices that are connected to a computer called peripheral devices. These devices are designed to read information into or out of the memory unit upon command from the CPU and are considered to be the part of computer system. These devices are also called as peripherals. For example, keyboard, display units, printer are commonly peripheral devices. Peripheral devices classified into three types: input peripherals, output peripherals, input output peripherals. The input peripherals allows user give input from the outside world to the computer. Example, keyboard, mouse, etc. Next one is the output peripheral devices. Output peripheral devices allows information output from the computer to the outside world. Example, printer, monitor, etc. Next one is input output peripherals. This input output peripherals allows both input from outside world to the computer as well as output from computer to the outside world. Example, touch screen. Peripheral devices, it is an interface, is a shared boundary between two separate components of the computer system, which can be used to attach two or more components to the system for communication purpose. There are two types of interface. One is CPU interface, that is called central processing unit interface. Next one is input output interface. Let us understand the input output interface in detail. Input output interface. Peripheral devices connected to a computer need a special communication links for interfacing with CPU. In computer system, there are special hardware components between the CPU and peripheral to control or manage the input output transfer. These components are called input output interface units because they provide communication links between the processor, bus and peripherals. They provide a method for transferring information between the internal system and input output devices. This input output interface is also called as the programmed input output. Programmed input output instructions are the result of input output instruction written in the computer program. Each data item transfer is initiated by the instruction in the program. Usually, the program controls data transfer to and from CPU and the peripheral. Transferring data under programmed input output requires constant monitoring of the peripherals by the CPU. Next, interrupt initiated input output. In the programmed input output method, the CPU stays in the program loop until the input output unit indicates that it is ready for data transfer. This time consuming process because it keeps the processor busy needlessly. This problem can be overcome by using the interrupt initiated input output. In this, when the interface determines the peripherals is ready for data transfer, it generates an interrupted. After receiving the interrupt signal, the CPU stops the task which is processing and service the input output transfer and then return back to its previous processing task. Removing the CPU from the path and letting the peripheral device manage memory buses directly would improve the speed of transfer. This technique is known as the DMA. In this, the interface transfer data to and from the memory through memory bus. A DMA controller manages to transfer data between peripherals and memory unit.